Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Monday, May 20th, 2013. Let's jump right into the charts here. We'll start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. You'll see that the futures are trading lower today by 2.25 points to $1,660.75 per contract. So a little bit of a downtick here in the futures market. Generally, Mondays have been a little bit on the weaker side. Tuesdays have been the day where the major stock indexes have exploded to the upside. But Mondays, the markets have been a little bit on the weaker side, and today we are seeing that again. There's a lot of chatter right now coming out talking about the Federal Reserve. Will they scale back their quantitative easing program? Just this morning on CNBC, they had one of the Fed governors on there, Fisher, saying he wants to slow the pace of mortgage-backed security purchases. We'll see how true it is, and if it's just more blowing smoke from one Fed person to another. Again, we can't make too much out of it. When Ben Bernanke says it's over, I guess that's going to be the final arbiter and the final decision maker. Until then, right now, QE is continuing at $85 billion a month, and this has been going on really since September of last year, and this is the third quantitative easing program in place since March 2009, and a fair case could be made since December 2008. So we'll see how this plays out, if it does affect the markets. Right now it's having very, very little effect on the markets, if anything, but there really is no cutting back the quantitative easing. So just a lot of talk, and these days talk is cheap when it comes to the markets. Markets want to see action, and that's really what will move them. Until then, they're just going to take the cue that, hey, there's a lot of money being printed, and we're going to keep buying stocks, and that's the bottom line. Looking across the pond today in Europe, you're going to see a little mixed bag of tricks. The German DAX is up about 0.25%. The French CAC 40 is flat on the day, but you do have the Italian market, the FTSE MIB, which is Milan, that is down about 0.8%. And the Spanish IBEX 35, which is Spain, that is down about 0.9%. So a little mixed bag of tricks there. The FTSE 100, which is England, they can print their own money. That is just down 0.1%. Kind of a flat day over there. But we're going to have to watch Spain and Italy. Both are showing weakness this morning, and that could be something that could go down a little bit further. I don't see why not. They're both very, very, all of those indexes in Europe are very, very overbought as well. Today we do have the dollar a little bit weaker. Take a look at the U.S. dollar. That is a little bit weaker. That is going to help lift the euro a little bit. So the euro is coming off of its lows a little bit. Also, the British pound is getting a little bit of a bid. And you could also see the Japanese market, which was up big last night. If you take a look at the Japanese dollar yen, I should say the dollar against the yen, that is trading right around this 102.50 level. So again, the dollar is a little bit on the softer side today across the board, but we'll have to see how this all shakes out a little bit later. Looking over in the Asian markets last night, it was a pretty steady day across the board to the upside. The Nikkei 225 made new all-time high. I shouldn't say new all-time highs, but I should say new 52-week highs, closing out at 15,361. That's up nearly 1.5 points last night. The Shanghai index was up about 0.75%. Meanwhile, the Hang Seng had a very big night, up about 1.75%. The Bombay Sensex index, which is India, that was down a little bit, down about 0.3%. And then you had Singapore, which was basically flat last night. So the Singapore markets, the FTSE Straight Times Index was basically flat last night, up about 5 points. Don't want to make too much out of that. But either way you slice it or dice it, the Asian markets with a pretty decent night. So that tells us they could be strong today if the U.S. markets are strong. Could watch Japanese ADRs probably be the strongest equities out there. If the U.S. markets are weak, then we don't want to expect too much out of the Japanese ADRs. All right, let's take a look at a few other things out here today. It looks like there is some news out here regarding some takeovers. I don't know how much we can make out of it. It looks like Warner Chilcott is going to be taken over finally. So I don't know if that's a big market moving event. I don't think it is at all. but it is what it is, and I think that traders still have to watch out for it. Right now, you're looking at the buyer of it, the acquiring company is Activist, and that's actually trading up on it. So it looks like the market was expecting this, and the market got what it was expecting. You could take a look at Warren and Chilcott, which is ticker symbol WCRX, and this is a drug company. Whoops. And you can see this is basically going to flatline here, so I wouldn't expect any real activity. There's really not going to be any play in there. It should just flatline around that $19 area going forward. But nonetheless, a little deal done there. That was well expected, telegraphed by the market. Has been going on for a while, so we'll see if that really moves markets. You also have Yahoo buying. I believe they're going to buy a blogging service called Tumblr for $1.1 billion. We'll take a look at Yahoo, and you'll see that Yahoo is selling off on the news a little bit. It's not a big decline. Stock closed at $26.52 on Friday. Today it's trading at $26.18, so it's not a big decline by any means. Campbell Soup also reported earnings. You can see here the stock is trading up a little bit. It closed at $47.63. Right now trading at $49. I'm going to try to have a gap level for this. I think I will have a level, so that'll be posted at 9 o'clock in the chat room. But Campbell Soup, nonetheless, trading a little bit higher today after reporting earnings. Again, we don't even care about what the earnings were. We just care about that the earnings are causing the stock to move up or down, and that's all we look for when trying to take a trade. So, again, we really don't care about what the earnings are. What the company's doing. We just care about the activity in the market off of the earnings, and that's what's most important. Let's take a look at General Electric. They're also in the news today. Not doing all that much. General Electric right now trading at $23.55. We can't make too much out of that. It looks like there was some news there. General Electric Capital plans to pay GE $6.5 billion in dividends this year. So we're not going to make too much out of that. I don't see the activity there. So it's a little bit quiet on on a Monday here, but that's just sometimes the way it is. And we'll see exactly how this market plays out a little bit later. Again, we'll watch these European markets. Right now you do have Spain and Italy down. So traders may want to take a look at the EWI. This one could be a little bit volatile today, but other than that, I don't think there's all that much activity ahead of the opening bell today. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Tuesday's usually been a favorable update for the market, and we'll see how that plays out at that time. With that said, everybody, I want to wish you all a great trading day, and we'll see you on the charts a little bit later.